Welcome to the Soul Driven Podcast. I believe that when we invest in ourselves, the world benefits. If you are searching for meaning and purpose, if you are unsure about how to combine the spiritual with the everyday, if you are ready to uncover who you truly are, then you've come to the right place. The Soul Driven Podcast is dedicated to exploring the intersection of living a soulful and spiritual life in a driven and ambitious world. Join me for practical guidance, truthful discussions, and interviews with people who are successfully living a soul-driven life. My name is Anna Hendricks, spiritual guide, marketer, and your host. Thank you for being here. Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to a bonus episode of the Soul Driven Podcast. My name is Anna Hendricks, spiritual guide, Akashic Soul Channel, and your host. I wish I could say I'm here under fabulous circumstances, but of course, there's a lot of heavy weight in the world right now, especially within the US. And I shouldn't say especially because, man, there are tough things happening all over the world right now, right? Like what's happening in Ukraine, India, Yemen. There's so much. And and then these shootings, they keep happening. They keep happening. And I've got all of my opinions and ideals and these sorts of things about what it is that's going on and, what it is that we can do and all of this stuff. But I thought it would be really helpful to go into the Akashic Records and see what they had to share with us about it. And to help you make sense of what is going on, of what is happening here. And I'm going to talk with you for a little bit, and then I'm just going to share the reading with you, and I won't be back on the other side or anything to talk about it because I really want it to sit with you and for it to resonate with you. And of course, please share with me what you think of it, how it hits you, right? But I wanted to kind of say a couple of things on the other side of channeling it. First of all, as they will talk about, we have to remember that everyone chooses the life that they live here on planet Earth, which can sound insane or amazing, depending on what that life is, right? If you're some super famous Hollywood star, then great. But if you're someone who is homeless, that doesn't sound so wonderful. But as souls, we want to experience a multitude of different things. And so we chose to step into multiple different lives. There is not one that is better than the other. Some of them last, 100 years, and some of them last just a few days. But everyone serves a purpose, and everyone is here for a purpose. And if you are still here, it's because you still have a purpose to serve. So I know that it's really difficult in these times to have some faith around those things, but that's just the truth of what it is, And I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever been so annoyed at hearing politicians saying, I'm offering up my prayers to you, than I have this round with this shooting. I'm just like, here's my middle finger. All right. This is where I'm at. I don't have any children, but I love children. And it hurts my heart what has happened. And also at the same time, there's a part of me that's almost numb to this, which is even harder for me to deal with than the pain. The pain I can sink into, it helps me to open up my heart. It helps all of us to open up our hearts. But it is the indifference that really freaks me out and honestly pisses me off, because it's like, this should not be normal to me. This should not be something that doesn't really bother me. You know what I mean? Yet, these are things that have been continuously taking place, and specifically here within the United States. It's not like there aren't things that happen in other countries. Of course there are, but we're supposed to be this amazing country, right? We're supposed to be progressive and loving, and this like mixed pot of like all these different cultures and religions. And yeah, but man, we have some problems. We have some pretty big issues. And so for this particular reading, I opened up the records for the United States of America because I actually had gone into the records a couple of times before and wasn't getting the sort of clarity that I wanted to receive around this particular topic. And if you know anything about reading the records, there's a couple of different things that you can do in order to change up, or increase clarity. All that nerdiness aside, but I was really pretty blown away with the reading that came through. It was very helpful for me. It really helped to remind me of some really beautiful things, but it also helped me to see something really huge in that in the bigger purpose that is taking place right now, and the bigger purpose that has taken place even within what happened in Uvalde. And we can understand the purpose and still grieve for the situation. My intention is not to like diminish what happened at all. In fact, it's the opposite. It is to help us become more aware of what it is that's going on. Because we do need to start taking action. We need to make different decisions. We need to vote for different people. We need to freaking get out there and vote. We need to start waking up. And, obviously, these situations are happening to help us do that, right? But in different ways. And what is it going to take? I put up a post yesterday on Facebook and I ended up taking it down because it was just like, ugh, I don't even know what to say. I have so many different things to say. But one of them really is, what is it going to take for us to finally say no more? How far are we going to have to go? Like what is it? And what's fascinating to me is that, well, actually, I'm not going to get into that. My brain's wanting to go into a direction that, my heart says no. So, but what is it going to take? And how many lives are going to have to be lost? And how much upheaval is going to happen? And you know what I mean? And it's not just with our children, it's with our planet Earth. It's with jobs. It's with what is happening right now with the Roe versus Wade. There's so much taking place right now. And a lot of big decisions, a lot of weight that is put onto our shoulders, in addition to just like what we're trying to deal with on the day-to-day. I don't even have goldfish, and I struggle. So my heart goes out to the parents, to those who have a lot of responsibility in your lives, who are also working with that, because there is so much right now. And I just want to really encourage you, as I often do, to really find your center. And if you don't know how to find your center, and if you don't know what to do for yourself, please contact me, reach out to someone else who aligns with you. If it's not me, it doesn't matter. But we have to learn how to find our center in the midst of this, because this is, it's only going to increase and grow. There's going to be new things that are coming forward, new things for us to deal with, because everything has to fall so that it can be rebuilt. And that's painful, right? It's like trying to get in shape. You got to go sweat and be in pain, and it's going to suck for a while, right? That's just the way it is. But then on the other side of it, you're going to feel better. Your clothes are going to fit tighter. Things are fit differently, I should say, fit better. Lost my train of thought. And then you're going to really appreciate the work that you've put in and all of the pain that you had to go through and all those difficult times. And that's where we're at right now. I feel like a broken record sometimes, but hey, maybe you've never heard my message. You've never tuned into my podcast. I don't know. I have great hope for our future. I know we are headed in a beautiful direction. I know that that all is well. But I too get really beat down in the midst of this. And man, I have to seriously call in my protection at the beginning of my days right now. And I want to encourage you to do the same. And when I say protection, I mean energetic protection. It's so, so important that we do this for ourselves. And I will link out actually to an article that I wrote about multiple different ways that you can protect yourself energetically. But please make this a practice in these times, because even for myself, actually today when I woke up later. I was very tired, and so I allowed myself to sleep in. And I was going throughout my day and things were fine. And then all of a sudden I started getting like all of these like anxieties and issues and like concerns, and like, I'm like, whoa. And then I knew kind of immediately, thankfully, I was able to see, this is not mine. This is not my energy that I'm feeling right now. And I need to get this ish out of my field right freaking now. And I did. And I felt lighter, better, all the things. You can tap, you could do breath work, you can, there's a number of different things, and those are not protective things, those are energy shifting things. Scream, cry, write, laugh, anything, call someone that you really love, you know what I mean? But if you really want to shift your energy, energetic maintenance right now is huge. So the only other thing that I really want to point out about the reading that I'm going to share with you that was so beautiful, because I saw this so clearly, and is that the lives that were affected in Uvalde, the children specifically, those are the leaders of our world. Those are the children who are going to grow up and who are going to say, no, we're not doing things this way. This doesn't work because when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Please understand that the purpose here is so much bigger and greater than we could ever imagine. And I saw these beautiful children doing something with their lives to make this better, because this is something that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. And of course, I'm not talking about all of them, anything like that, but I'm saying that people who go through these sorts of situations, they don't forget them, right? And what are they going to do about that? How are they going to take action? These children will. So let's go ahead. Let's dive in. Again, I'd love to hear anything that resonated with you. Feel free to hit me up on social media. You can send me an email. I love your emails. soul-drivenpodcast@gmail.com. Whatever the case, you don't need to, but I'm definitely going to be curious how this resonates with other folks. I hope that it serves. I hope that it helps. And please share it with anyone else who might need to hear it. Without further ado, enjoy. Master teachers, loved ones, what can you share with us about the mass shootings and what happened in Uvalde? Why are these mass shootings taking place? What service? What purpose are they serving? The truth is that it is too grand for you to even question these things. Yet we know in the midst of pain and blood, in lives lost, everyone wants to know why. Yet the why is so multifaceted that it is difficult to channel through a clear answer. But we will share with you what we can. First, we would like to say that everything serves a purpose. There is not one life lost. There is not one pain felt. There's not even one tear that does not serve a purpose. Know that these lives lost were here on this planet, doing what they came to do. And any time a group of people exit this planet at the same time together, it is because they have chosen to do so, to continue lightening the load on the earth, raising the vibration, allowing for more space to be felt, allowing for more cries to be heard, enacting even in the midst of it, change. Change that takes place on the micro and the macro level. Change that takes place within the heart. Change that enables one to turn on, to look within, to review their actions and decisions. And even now as we speak, so many across the country are considering this. How have I taken place? How have I taken part in what it is that is going on around me? How have I too played a role? What have my actions been? What can my actions be in the future, moving forward, as so much of life comes towards me? These are things to sit with at this time, to review, take in. Please know that the precious lives lost at Uvalde and all of those affected are again for a purpose. Know that the children who witnessed these events will never be the same. Yes, some will lose themselves in sadness, while others will utilize their rage to make changes upon this planet. Rest in this faith, knowing that these children, these leaders of the future, those who have been privy to being up close and personal to these situations, will be making their ways to positions, to places that can enact great change upon this planet. And that is why they are happening. Know that this is not a decision that comes from the universe. Know that the universe would never will this to be. For God and our Creator wishes nothing but the best. But in that wishing nothing but the best, does not take part, but simply stands at the sidelines, cries with those who have lost a loved one, wraps arms around the hearts that are broken. Allow yourselves to be broken in these times. Nurture that brokenness and choose to do differently. Pay attention to the decisions that you are making at this time, for they are so important to what the future will hold. An entire nation cannot change overnight, but it surely can within a few generations. Know that this is what is taking place at this time. Change is unfolding. And unfortunately, it must come through pain. For pain is what most seems to wake people up these days, knock them out of their own worlds, gets them to appreciate what it is that they have. Also know that it is the collective grieving, the collective that does not know its place, that cannot find its heart, that feels lost, broken, and abandoned, that is coming through these very individuals who are the perpetrators of these events. Feel pity for them. Pray for them, for they carry the energy of all that is around them. Know that it is not evil that drives these events, although evil plays a part on this earth. But what is evil? Is it an act? Or is it looking in the other direction? These two are of the same ilk. There is not one that is better than the other. No, they are the same. This is why within the Bible, Jesus spoke of all sins being one and the same. These events happen so that you might come together. These events happen so that you might review who it is that is in charge. These events happen to wake you up. These events happen to call you to stand on alert, to be aware, to start taking an active place among those around you. Those who are ruling this planet at this time do not have your best interest in mind. Know that, yet even they are serving their own purpose. But there are many within the United States that wish to pull puppet strings, that do not want to lose their places of power, do not want to give up the steady streams of money that come their way. These things are for you to uncover, for you to choose to see clearly that the United States was created for the corporations, for those in charge. It never meant to be equal for all. Even though there were those involved who did intend for this. For equality did not reign supreme even in those times. It was for the fortuned few. America, in fact, was built by those who could actually make it there. It was not for everyone. These deep roots are in all things, and you know what they are. How much longer will you choose for them to be in power? How much longer will you waste your time getting lost in the polarizing debates instead of choosing to carve a new path, a new way forward? Again, we leave you with all things serve a purpose. Please do not weep for these children, but celebrate their names. Celebrate what their lives have done for others, and waking them up and shaking them out of a cold and steady stream of life that is on auto drive. Take advantage of these times. See what they have for you. Learn how to utilize them for the road ahead.